And so now I'm in this place of like, okay, this is my reality. I have to pay Vanguard and I'm about to graduate and I don't know what's next. So now I'm at a place of like, hey, what do I actually do?
Yeah. Hey everyone, vlog number 3, Monday mentoring. This time we've got Emma. We talk a lot about calling, some nitty gritty on like how do you really discern your calling. Again, please like, share, comment, love your thoughts, check it out, and I hope you're blessed. All right, peace.
Like after this 4 years at Vanguard, like it's very formative years, and I feel like my character's been shaped so much, but I don't want to make another like wrong decision. Like there's still so much more than just teaching in elementary school. So that's why I'm like,
yeah.
What do I do?
One of the things I think we talked about a little bit is trial and error, right? Something being just as simple as
Not just sitting and
right, yeah. You can figure out what you're designed for once you actually try the thing. And then, because passions usually come after you try the thing and realize, wow, this is so me, you know? And so I think I like what you're saying about possibly looking into teaching, but also possibly doing work just in an office setting and seeing how you would enjoy that. The gap year is ideally done when you can do like 3 things for 3 months each. You know, like if there's a way to do that without like burning bridges or like, you know, just, you know, but you do that for like, let's say 6 months or even a year, but maybe your schedule is only half time and allows you to be a volunteer paraeducator or something like that.
I also have my CSET and CBOS done.
So you can substitute teach. Right. So that, I think, that's actually how I got into teaching. I started with substitute teaching when I was in grad school part-time. So I was doing both, and then I got a taste of teaching, and I was like, wow, if I'm with these students like 1 day out of the year and I already enjoy it, or like 1 week, if I can do this for as a job, man. So that's why I actually withdrew from grad school at the time, and then I just pursued teaching, and then I loved it for 5 years. And then I always felt like God was calling me back to grad school, and when I went back eventually, so that's where I, you know, again, it's through the doing of it, you know, I realized it. When you say office work, like what are you thinking? Like,
so I've done office work for the past 2 years, and then on top of that, resident assistant, which is also like one of my favorite jobs I've ever had. I like love it, and because it's a combination of like administrative work, like connections, and like in a sense sort of pastoring if it gets to that point in your relationships you develop. But I'm good at administrative work, but I'm never in flow in it.
Yeah.
And like I think that's matters the most to me is like the people I work with. And
yeah, so it's really the people that make whatever you're doing most enjoyable.
Yes.
And I think you have that. So, you know, when I mentioned that it was really cool that you came up to me in class yesterday just randomly, or before class, and then you did that last year too, I noticed, and I really appreciate that. It's just the simplest 2-minute conversation in the world, but it kind of just, I'll just be frank, and it makes me feel like I'm not just your professor or former professor, like I'm a person, I matter to you, and I bet you do that for a lot of people. And so I'm wondering like what that looks like in the form of a job. You're probably wearing the same thing, you know? But at least you're getting a sense of like what aspects of whatever you're doing makes you most alive. I've got a friend who I just spoke to over the weekend who she is in events, and she does corporate events.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
And she's been doing it for some time, and it wasn't what she went to school for either. She was a piano major, and she did really well and everything. And then she went on to get an MBA, but of all things, she ended up just doing event planning and like corporate event planning, and she does really well. And she was working at one firm for 2 years doing their corporate events, and then she just started a new job at the end of this month. And so we've been talking, and she's kind of similar. She's been asking questions about her calling, but you know, maybe there'd be a neat connection. I don't know what she can do for you, just because obviously one, she's just going to a new job, so she's not like established there.
Yeah.
But at the very least, I wonder, just starting a conversation, you know, and who knows if an internship or something else.
That'd be really cool.
Because then you can see like, wait a second, this is so life-giving and all-encompassing. I want to spend 80 hours a week, 40, 60, whatever, doing this.
Yeah.
Versus like, I can get my fix helping out here and there once a month at some event or other. But I really love walking with people for the long haul and doing the teaching, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So from where I stand, and you could, you know, far better, but I would do something like this if I were you, if you can afford it, literally, afford it financially, is what if you can do some substitute teaching? That's just for the pay of like a couple grand a month, just to have it there, But then maybe on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can try to volunteer or get an internship or do something with some event planning work, or even just one day a week or whatever. And then the other thing is, are you interested, if you said psych, are you interested in possibly exploring like MFT work? Because then after a year, you'll go on for your master's and then put all your eggs in that basket, But now you've covered 3 major industries, teaching, counseling, and event planning.
Yeah.